So thank you. And right now I want to introduce City of New York Mayor Adams.
Thank you so much, Board of Czar, and thank all of the men and women who put their lives on the front line every day. And really want to thank Special Agent in Charge, Acting Special Agent in Charge, McCormick, for your team. And as the Board of Czar stated, what's the mission of the presidential administration, I want to be clear on my mission. My mission is to rid every one of these dangerous gangs from our city. I'm unapologetic about it. That mission was pre-election. It's the same post-election. And every law enforcement agency on the city, state, and federal level is part of that partnership. And when you start to attack law enforcement agencies for doing their jobs, you're insulting the men and women who have placed their lives on the front line to address the issue. The question that we must answer, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of those who are carrying these illegal guns, wreaking havoc, sex trafficking, harming innocent people, regardless of their documentation? Or are you on the side of hardworking New Yorkers and Americans? I'm clear on which side I'm on. I'm on the side of those who are protected as a cop, say senator, borough president, and now the mayor of the city of New York. That's the side I'm on, and I'm clear on it. And I'm not apologizing for going after those who carry these illegal guns, wreaking havoc on communities. And so those who want to romanticize these characters and make it seem like they are here just to be part of the American dream. The American dream is not doing armed robberies. The American dream is not discharging guns. The American dream is not shooting at police officers. The American dream is not going into homeless shelters and taking the documentations from innocent people and forcing them into sex trafficking. That's not the American dream. And we're not going to be a safe harbor for criminals. That's who this group is. And hats off to the entire team. Hats off to Homeland Security, HSI. Hats off to ICE. Hats off to NYPD. Hats off to the FBI. Hats off to those who are part of this collaboration to take dangerous people off our streets. Dangerous people. No regard for who they shoot at and what they do to carry out their actions. And today's gang takedown is another victory for safety and law enforcement in our city. The defendants include members of the notorious Tren de Aragua. And let me tell you something. I won't have a tequila drink with a gang member. I won't be hanging out with them and hugging them, acting like they are victims. They are not victims. They create victims by their actions. A transnational criminal gang based in Venezuela that has terrorized people in their own country and here in America. When I was telling the acting special agent in charge when I was in Ecuador, people were stating, we don't want to leave Ecuador, but we've been run out of Ecuador because of the gangs that are in our country. Then they came here, and you know what they saw? They saw some of the same gang members, representations and symbols of gang members. Speaking to the police commissioner this morning, we are amazed that we've been able to keep down crime at the level that we have been able to. And it's because we prevented them with our law enforcement, federal partners in city and state. We prevented them from taking a stronghold and foothold in our city, and we're going to continue to do that. And as a former police officer, I was horrified and I was disgusted on January 27, 2024, when police officers, two NYPD police officers, were attacked in Times Square. That was a symbol of a total disregard for the law enforcement community of this country, not only of this city. The senseless assault on our officers kick-started the investigation we are talking about today. When I spoke with Chief Shell and Deputy Mayor Daughtry who was an assistant commissioner at the time, I said, this can't happen in our city. And we need to find everyone that's responsible for it. Because if you attack the symbol of public safety, a man or woman who's wearing that police uniform, you're attacking the stability of our country. And I said, find them and send a strong message. And today, we found them and we brought them to justice in the process. But this is just not about one incident. These gang members were trained to shoot and kill cops. Trained to shoot and kill cops. But it's more than their training. They carried out the actions. We saw in 115th precinct on June 3rd, 2024, one officer was shot in his bulletproof vest and the other in the leg. He was already indicted. The shooter was already indicted for that shooting in Queens County and now faces additional federal charge. The 27 people in these incidents, these indictments are accused of unbelievable criminal behavior. And they have been charged with firearm offenses, racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking conspiracy, alien importation conspiracy, and drug trafficking conspiracy. They were forcing women into sex trafficking, forcing them into sex trafficking. Thanks to this hard work of the NYPD, HSI, Violent Gang Task Force, and other federal partners, Trinidad has never had a chance to take a foothold in this city. And because we have secured our border, we're seeing less come in with illegal activities into our city. The numbers don't lie, folks. The numbers don't lie. I know the side that I'm on. And each and every time they attempt to establish a presence in our city, we have taken them down. And we will continue to fight violent transnational crimes with the full force of the law. And in 2025 alone, we have taken down 5 long-term cases related to Trinidad with 42 case subjects and more than 100 guns. This is just an example of what we were able to accomplish. In this specific indictment we are discussing today, case subjects are in custody, finally unable to do any more harm to our city and our nation. Now it's time to keep them incarcerated and not the revolving door system that we've witnessed, allowing them to come out over and over again, inflicting violence on our communities. Law enforcement is doing its job. That's one part of the criminal justice apparatus. The other aspects of the criminal justice apparatus, they must do their job. Keep dangerous people off our streets after we take them off our streets. This case resulted in the seizure of 30 guns. Just some more of the 1,600 illegal guns we removed off our street. More than 21 this year alone, and more than 21,400 since the beginning of our administration. As we have seen time and time again, violent criminals carrying illegal guns around New York City, they don't hesitate to use them, and oftentimes they're innocent people who are the victims of these shootings. Even during the day, with children are mere feet away from them, you see the continuation of the display of a total disregard for public safety on our street. Public safety has been our administration's top priority, and it's good to have partners in the federal agencies who are joining us in this priority on how important it is to keep our city safe. Because when we have broken down silos in intense and close collaboration with our law enforcement partners, it's the best way to rid the streets of the violent gangs. Our strategy continues to work. The first 3 months of this quarter, we witnessed the least amount of shootings in the recorded history of this city. It is because we're taking dangerous people off the street like here. Breaking, shooting, and homicide records, making our city safe for 5 straight quarters for crime reduction is no accident. It is smart policing. Now, this is the results of leadership, strategy, and the hard work of our entire administration. We remain the safest big city in America because of that, as well as a haven for hardworking immigrants and their families who deserve safety and justice in this community. And I always say, we enforce criminal and immigration laws because that's what we will do. As Tom indicated, he's never asked the NYPD to enforce civil immigration. He asked them to be partners in dealing with the criminal investigation, and that is what we will continue to do. And today's takedown is a perfect example of why this is so important. These gangs prey on all kinds of victims, including immigrants. We have often fled who have often fled gang violence to seek safety for their families here in U.S. We will not tolerate violent criminals wreaking havoc in our city, no matter where you are from. And we will protect law-abiding New Yorkers no matter what. And I think what Tom stated is really going over the head of so many. He stated, let's go where the criminals are. If we are saying over and over again, you don't want ICE in schools, churches, you don't want ICE in places of employment in other areas, then collaborate to go where the criminals are. That's the goal that we want to accomplish as we continue to make our city safe. And I, again, want to thank our partners who have allowed us to do this. And as an American, and as a former member of the New York City Police Department, and as a nephew of an uncle who died protecting this country is for those who believe in our rule of law, our principles, and are here to provide a life for themselves. It is not a safe haven for criminal behavior. And it's time for all of us to ask the question, particularly those who are in government, that find it more convenient to have a tequila drink with someone who's a gang member. Which side are you on? I know the side I'm on. I'm on the side of law-abiding people who are in this country. I cannot thank you guys enough for the job that you've done. Let's continue to make this city the safest big city in America. Thank you, Commissioner.